Hey, I'm Manthan from Palisade. In this video, we'll do a deep dive into the Palisade platform and explore how you can use the platform to develop on the XRP Ledger. The Palisade platform is divided into three key components. The key management aspect, which manages the key provisioning, where keys are provisioned, either using a custodial setup like a HSM or using MPC, which allows you to do a shared custodial and non-custodial setup. The governance aspect, which controls what you can do with the funds that are in the key and what you can do with the key itself. And the blockchain connection aspect, which controls what you can do on the blockchain. So we'll start with the key management, which is quite simple. In Palisade, keys live within vaults. A vault is simply a collection of keys, and it's there to make it easy for you to set up rules and to control governance around where the keys live and how you scope them. So we'll start with ability to create a vault. Creating a vault is quite simple. You click the create vault button and you specify a name and a description for the vault. So in this case, we'll just create a vault called XRPL comments, and we'll leave the description as the vault for the XRPL Commons platform. Now we've created the vault. In the vault, you can have many keys. There's no limit to how many keys you can have. And a key must have a backend, which specifies where the key lives. So we'll start with creating our first key. Click the create key button, give it a name, give it a description, select the blockchain that this key will operate on. For this use case, we'll pick XRP Ledger. And the key store. So the key store is what governs where the key lives. In this case, we will use HSM, but we can also provision keys using MPC. MPC keys require a device or a server that's running the CloudSign node for Palisade that can custody the shard for Palisade. For this example, we'll just use HSM. And the last flag that you set on a key is called raw signing. Raw signing is what sort of enables you to submit raw transactions to the key for the key to sign. Typically, a key that is not configured with raw sign cannot sign arbitrary transactions, which means you cannot just willy-nilly submit a transaction for the key to sign. The key will only sign payment transactions. If you enable raw sign, it allows key to sign arbitrary transactions. However, every transaction will still go through the policy engine and it will still go through the allow list on the platform. And it will still go through all the governance and all the controls they have in place. So in this example, we'll just enable raw sign and we'll click create key. The key's been created. So when you provision a key on HSM, it gets created instantly. If you're provisioning key on MPC, that key goes through a lot of checks and it goes through the actual shard provisioning method, but even that only takes a few seconds. Now that we've created a key, the default state of the key is that it is disabled and it only allows deposits into the platform or into the key itself. We can see here that this key only allows deposits, and we can see that this key is disabled. And we can also see that this key is provisioned using the HSM key backend. So this is where the key is at the moment. We can also see that there are no funds on this key. And here's where you can get the public address of the key by just clicking the copy button. The UI also tells us that this key is missing a allow list address. So this key cannot transact with anything at the moment. And that this key is also missing the asset policy. What this means is this key is basically deposits only. You can only deposit funds into this key. You cannot send any outbound transactions. And using this sort of triple lock mechanism, Palisade protects funds on the platform. The triple lock is that the key is disabled, which has to be enabled manually. The key has no allow list, so there is no address that the key can interact with. And the key doesn't have any policy. So the key doesn't, even if it had a allow list in the address list, the key will not be able to do anything. So this key is effectively only for deposits. So this key is disabled. We will not do anything with this, but if we go into the policy tab, we can see the process of how to add a policy. So in the policy rules, we can see that currently there are no rules. So we click add a rule. It takes us to a screen where we can add a policy rule. Adding a policy rule is super easy, but it's crucial to get it right because it governs access to your funds. So it's typically recommended to use combination of policy rules to make sure that you're really controlling the assets that are on the platform. And the key is only allowing you to operate with the given threshold that you're effectively setting using policies. So we have 3 rule types to choose from. Max total value is the total number of liquidity that is allowed to exit this key during the whole time, during its lifetime. So it's the sum of all transactions that you anticipate leaving this key. A rolling duration, this is an incredibly powerful policy that allows you to really specify a liquidity throttling mechanism. So you can choose how many transactions or how much value can leave this key in a specified duration. So you can say that this key can transact up to 50 XRP per second, or it can transact up to 1,000 XRP per hour. This is incredibly powerful because it means that even if you lose access to the key, if someone gets access to the API credentials, they cannot just effectively drain the entire wallet because the rule is in place to throttle what can leave the key. And then the last policy type, or the rule type that we have, is per transaction. This governs how much liquidity, so 10 transactions, 10 XRP that can leave this wallet per second.